Hello. Today I want to talk about developing your relationship with God. Developing your relationship with universal God, the impersonal God, and developing your relationship with your personal God. Universal God, or impersonal God, is realized in the field of the transcendent. When you have a meditation practice with a technique that allows you to transcend the relative field, then the experience is of divine being by itself, unfolding itself to itself. The experience is of divine being that is the transcendent, that is universal God. So by doing your meditation practice regularly and transcending repeatedly, you will be cultivating that experience of universal God, cultivating that realization of the Lord. Eventually, your mind is so transformed by this repeated, regular experience of universal God that it actually rises to that status of universal God. Then your experience here in the relative field, your experience here with the consciousness of waking, dreaming, and sleeping, is held alongside the experience of universal God, of divine being. Your mind and your physiology are so transformed, they hold that experience of universal God even here in the relative field with the experience of all the activity here in the relative field. Now, what happens is your heart and your mind are cultured and grow with the love of your personal God. Universal God, divine being, is realized in the transcendent, in the field of the absolute. Your personal God is realized here in the relative field with all of your perceptions, with all of your mind and heart, and the living of that experience of the realization of your personal God. Your perceptions of the relative field and all your experience of the relative field is on that faint, subtle level, that celestial level of the relative field, the level of the faintest impulses of creation. Your perceptions are of the Lord, of your personal God, as you experience life here in the relative field. Your heart is cultured with love for your personal God. And your mind knows your personal God as everywhere and as everything. Your personal God, the Supreme Being, presides over both the absolute and the relative fields, remaining uninvolved. Your personal God unifies the absolute and the relative fields. And that separation that you felt before, as you know yourself as separate from the relative field, this is unified in the awareness of God alone. The awareness that the absolute and the relative fields are both expressions of the Lord. This is God consciousness, unity with your personal God, the unity of the absolute and the relative in your personal God. Excuse me. So this is what I want for you. May you have the fulfillment that glorifies all of creation in this very lifetime. That all your perceptions are of the Lord. Your heart loves the Lord. Your mind knows the Lord as everywhere and everything. And you live the Lord as everywhere and as everything. Thank you, beloved Guru. All glory be to thee.